next episode of Outdoor Boys TV. I'm Colton. I'm the instructor, if you will, of primitive living, self-reliance, long-term sustainability, wilderness survival, wilderness living, things of that sort of nature. I do 3-day survival courses and also longer. Not only go on the 3-day survival scenario, but also the long-term scenario. What's going to happen not in 3 days, but in 3 weeks or 3 months, things of that sort of nature. And then living out there, being a mountain man, doing it all yourself. Today we're going to talk about blazing the woodsman's code. And you got to remember that a lot of the woodsmen in the 18th century knew this code, and they used this quite a lot over in the eastern woodlands, or the west, which was back then considered, like, we're talking late 1700s, early 1800s. That was things like Virginia, Cumberland Gap. Didn't really go farther than that. That was kind of the west for them. And then later in the mid 18th century, that's when they started going farther west, down to Oregon, when Lewis and Clark had their expedition, and they we got the Louisiana Purchase and things like that, when pioneers and people started moving farther west. But people like Daniel Boone, Nesmith, they would commonly practice the woodsman code, which is blazing. And you got to remember that scouts would use this. Your pathfinders going ahead on the trail, your scouts going up ahead, scouting it out, and then sending messages back to the main hunting party, or the main party that was doing whatever, maybe finding land, something of that sort of nature. And before we go into this, you also got to remember that the woodsmen of then, what we should do from them, we should learn what they did, how they did it, and then if it worked for them, if it worked good, and it still works good now, we should implement what they made work, implement it now, and make it better. What can we add on? Things like that, such as moccasins. They had moccasins, and the moccasins sucked. I mean, they'd work for maybe a week, they'd fall apart. Every night you'd hear in journal entries they'd have to repair their moccasins for the next day. It was one thing that didn't work very well. Now we have modern footwear, which is something that we took footwear, made it better, and that's how we used it. Also things like knives. We made knives better, do away with better epoxy for the handles, better grinds, be able to hold an edge longer, things of that sort of nature. Also with firearms. Anyways, now we're going to get on to blazing. Now we're going to go over the first blaze. We're going to say that's a tree. Sorry for my bad art, but deal with it. This is simple blaze. This would usually be around 4 to 8 inches long, and this would usually mean continuing onward. You'd see this main blaze on a trail up ahead of you, or on a tree ahead of you. Know to continue onward, left by the scout. And every time someone would go by this blaze, they'd remark it with their axe just to keep it fresh. And then once the last person would go by, that's when they'd stop marking it, and then the tree would build a hill over, and that's how you know how recent it was. Also remember, don't be stupid. You gotta remember that not if they're close together, not everyone's gonna mark it. We're talking maybe like an hour away, half an hour away, things like that, maybe a day away. So that's what the first main blaze is we're going to talk about. The next one we're going to talk about is this blaze right here. This is going to accompany a main blaze, or a different sort of blaze, and this is going to mean left or right, depending on which side of the tree it's on. It's not going to have two, it's only going to have one. So it would be like that. That'd be continue left. So you just got to remember that. These little blazes are going to apply to every blaze if it's necessary. So also keep that in mind. So next we'll go over to this blaze. This would be 3 blazes, like in that sort of fashion, and that would mean danger. That would mean take caution until you find the next blaze. It might be Indians, it might be a cautionary, it might be a bear, something like a poisonous snake, something that you gotta be warned of, or danger that was warned you by the scout. So and that's kind of again, if you applied like that blaze, it'd mean danger to the right, or over here, danger to the left. Depends which side it's on. Just remember that again. Alright, this next blaze, it's going to be a blaze like this, with a little flap on the bottom, like a flap of bark, or a flap of the skin, if you will, the tree, or the inner layers of bark, and that's going to be flapped over, and that's going to mean your base camp. That's going to mean continue onward to base camp coming up. Another one that does mean base camp is, if you had a blaze, it'd be one long blaze, maybe like 8 to 14 inches long, and it's going to be a longer blaze like that. That might also mean base camp. Another thing to keep with besides this, such as this blaze or different blazes, that's either going to be trap locations. It's going to be a private blaze that if you don't know what it means, it's not for you. That's kind of what that's going to go along. Now let's do a little quiz here. If you saw this blaze, what do you think? Well, first of all, you know this blaze, the main one, continue onward. Then you have a secondary blaze, continue on, continue left. So you'd go left from there onto find the next blaze. Here's this. Three blazes at the stage. That's the blaze right there. For your left to right, and that's on the right. So danger to the right. Now you go left. Most of the time, gotta kind of remember that. And then this blaze, like I said, this was commonly meant for like maybe a meeting or something, but it's not applicable to all woodsmen. It's a private blaze, and that could be whatever the heck you had. And then this blaze, for another quiz, it means base camp. And well, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching this video on Blazing, the Woodsman Code. Thanks for watching this channel. Thanks for all you do for me, this channel, the other partner, Levi. Have a great day, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can with another video. Hey, thanks, bye.